West Tigers halfback, Adam Doueihi.
Scooped up by Doueihi. He's going again, Doueihi. They can't catch him. Adam Doueihi is away. 3 ACLs and they can't stop him.
Oh, you're kidding.
Adam Doueihi runs the length. 80 metres untouched. Scores the try.
What is Adam doing right now?
Thanks to Temper. A great night's sleep with Temper. The difference is Temper.
Yeah, for Temper. Now, I'm not, what in his pocket, but I think based on the form, what we'd seen before the shoulder injury, there is a very good chance Adam Doueihi was going to be one of the 6 players on the bench tonight for New South Wales. So he was pretty flattered to be mentioned in those conversations, but I think it was well-deserved. Here he is now, Adam Doueihi, Origin Day. Welcome back to the program. Here he is. We'll say welcome again to the program, Adam.
Vossy, thanks for having me again.
That's okay. The shoulder you couldn't get to the button. Is that right? Is that should Tigers fans be alarmed?
I'm still
that
getting
you
used to this fancy systems and stuff, so it'll teach me the
all
ropes.
right, yeah, on and off, like Homer Simpson, bed goes up, bed goes down, bed goes up. It's just on, off. Adam, let's go with business first of all. Injury, because I don't want to dwell on it. How are you going with the shoulder?
Good. Going good. Obviously had that sort of shoulder injury against the Sharks where it popped out, and luckily enough we popped it back in on the field, and getting through my rehab, trying to strengthen it as quick and as strong as possible, and looking forward to being back over the next few weeks.
Okay. Next few weeks. So comeback date, which round? We're going into round 13 this weekend.
I'm just taking it week by week. It's just sort of on me when I get my full strength back. That's sort of when I'm due to play again. So, fingers crossed somewhere over the next few weeks.
We have you on the program today, and we're locked into this. It's an Origin Day. You don't come to us with Origin experience, but you come with the experience of playing against these blokes on a regular basis. So we want to pin you down on a few areas of the game as if it's Adam Doueihi, Coach Adam Doueihi today. Are you up to that? Like, we're talking about that. So from a Queensland perspective, okay, because I'm all in on Heamasi Makasini. I think if Laurie gets it right, first of all, if Heamasi lives up to club form, and Laurie then gets it right and has feel for it, if Heamasi's going well, leave him out there on an edge. How do you defend that player, that destructive player who, big unit, moves well, can offload, 77 tackle busts this year? If he's running at Cameron Munster and gets on top early, if you're on that defensive line for Queensland, what has to work to contain someone like Heamasi Makasini?
He's so hard to defend, especially him on the edge as a back rower, as you said, going up against these sort of, not smaller defenders, but, a half or a centre sort of defender. They're not as big as a body as someone in the middle. And then on the back of that, due to his big frame, he's got that ball skills and ball playing ability in his back pocket as well. So I guess for Heamasi early in the game, he's going to obviously wind up and get at Cam a fair few times. And then I think for Queensland, if they can force Heamasi to try and pass the ball and use his ball skills, and rather than him sort of using his strong ball carrying game, then I think that's the only way Queensland can I guess try and eliminate him.
We're talking about defensive. So you defend on the Tigers' right, don't you? You defend on the right. So you'd be in the Sam Walker position in the correct. Queensland line. If you were a Queensland, I'm not talking dirty here, Adam. But if you were a Queensland, you'd be defending on the right there. And Hudson Young is no easy hombre running at you either because of footwork, offload capabilities, aggressive. Like it's never a soft carry. Again, how do you communicate? Is it better to move up quickly? Do you wait to see what he's going to do, the footwork, all of those things?
I think he's one of the back rowers I sort of struggle to defend against. Yeah. Because he is so predictable with his footy, and he offers so much with whether it's his footwork or his ball playing, or I think sometimes when he gets the ball, he doesn't even know what he's going to do. He just makes it up on the run, and to try and be, keep that strong defensive line and defend him in one line, it's just so hard to do because you don't know if you're going to go at him, if he's going to step you, or if he's going to use that offload or ball playing ability. So he's another player that's very hard to stop. Okay,
now picking up the ball and running with that point about edge attack, and that's the New South Wales edge players. Where do you see, and there's the Queensland lineup, like where do you see the threats on the edge for Queensland? Because Ruben Cotter, international, Kurt Capel's been around. I don't see them as, you're not shaking in your boots about being opposed to those two players on the edge, and that's backed up by numbers. I mean, with respect, they're not tackle busters, and they're not necessarily offloaders. Max Plath will play through the middle, but where is the Queensland strike? See, I'm thinking that's why it's so important on Ponga. Ponga will drive. He will become absolute X factor in their attack. Where Ponga moves is where I'm thinking the danger is.
I think to back that up, they've got enough players with their 1, 6 and 7 and the way they can ball play and manipulate the defence. I think all they need from their back rowers this game is to just, I guess, run that good line for them. We know Ponga likes to set up that wide 4 situation on the left and skip past that A defender and put their back row on centre into a hold there. So as long as, I guess, Capewell or Cotter can run that good line for him, then they don't have to worry about doing the ball playing or the fancy footwork. Just run their lines, and between Ponga, I guess, Walker and Munster, they'll put them in space.
Great breakdown. Adam Doueihi here on the front office. The 2 hookers are noted runners. They like to get a dummy half. They are very selective. It's very rare that they run when the opportunity. They don't just run for run's sake. They pick their moments. But in Origin, if you're not getting the 1-2 punch from your forwards, Harry Grant, who may have 5 or 6 runs a game, tonight might only get 1 or 2. Same said for Reece Robson. Who do you think is going to be more dominant on the back of the packs that have been selected, Robson or Harry Grant? This time tomorrow, who do you think will have had the better figures in the terms of running?
Yeah, I think it comes back to momentum. Whichever team's got momentum for longer, and if the ref's going to call a few 6 agains and ruck infringements, then that's when these 2 hookers love to run at the back of that. When you're defending 4 tackles in a row and you get a 6 again, there's a lot of fatigue into the defensive line, and yeah, definitely Robson will run on the back of a player like Fanua Blake and a quick ruck for him and running on the back of that. But yeah, Harry Grant just seems to always pick his moments really well when to run and doesn't overdo it. So yeah, it's going to be a good battle there at number 9 as well.
Would it? I'll quiz you now. I'm going to quiz you. You didn't know you were up for a quiz tonight. So Queensland have got a starting forward, 6 forwards, and then on the bench, Nikora, Collins, Carrigan, Liero. So there's 10 players to pick from. Which Queensland forward has had the most tackle busts in the NRL this year out of the 10 that they have that are going to be on show tonight? This to me can either be a positive or can be a massive negative, really, based on what they're up against. Who out of the 10 from 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 14, 15, 16, 17, who's had the most tackle busts? Adam Doueihi? Clearly had the most tackle busts.
I want to say Tino, but
not even close.
I'm thinking
not even close.
Maybe someone like Max Plath.
Harry Grant. So it's your hooker, okay, it's your hooker who's had the 24, and that's where I think that's a problem for Queensland. So if Harry doesn't get the chance to run at a dummy half tonight, the bloke who's in the best form at getting a bit of second phase and all the rest, yeah, Harry Grant. So it is a worry for if I'm Queensland. Billy Slater may get the best out of them. I don't doubt that. Ruben Cotter's been man of the match in Origin games with modest numbers in club form and then suddenly plays out of his skin in Maroon. We all know that. But I'm saying just based on stats and all the rest, I find that staggering.
I mean, even as a half.
Going into an Origin.
Yeah, as a half, it's so frustrating if your middles aren't sort of laying that platform for you and going forward. It's just, I know how frustrating it can be to play on the back of that. So, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I think based on what Queensland have done, if Carrigan really starts off the bench, I think he becomes a player of great influence in that Queensland side. He makes more metres. He busts more tackles. Certainly more so than when Lindsay Collins comes on. I think Carrigan's got a massive role to play Queensland if they're only going so-so through the middle, if they're not getting dominance.
Yeah, even someone like Lindsay Collins, like off the bench, I think they're their 2 best middles between Lindsay Collins and Pat Carrigan. I think they're the 2 boys that can really try and get them to go forward.
Adam Doueihi breaking things down for us on State of Origin, and here for temper, a great night's sleep night after night after night. That is the difference. The difference is temper. We're going to hold back on pinning Adam down for a tip. Margin man of the match. We'll do that at the end of the segment. Other tips coming in. 103 says, scoreline tourist, New South Wales 19, Queensland 12. Man of the match, Isaiah Yeo gets a vote there. There's a few other questions for Adam. If you got one, throw them in. There is one here. A question, please, for Adam. How is young Heamasi Makasini around the group and at training? He's back in the first grade side this week. I watched him play all his junior league and union in the same side as my young fella. He was so humble and carefree with that winning instinct as soon as he crossed the white line. That's from Josh the Bricky, Heamasi Makasini.
Yeah, I think he described him pretty well. He's a very humble kid and comes from a good school in Newington and played rugby union there. So he's definitely well grounded in that sense. And yeah, I think everyone saw through the trial matches in the early rounds the ability is definitely there, and we just got to help, I guess, build his confidence up and get him the ball when he needs it, and just let him do his thing.
Did you I mean, it's fine to say you don't take much notice of the papers and that, but do you? Because you had, well, your form was good enough, Adam. You know, what if? What if? Have you thought about that? What if?
It crosses your mind. Obviously, people were tossing it up, and I'd play people like Andrew Johns mentioning me in that sense, and obviously very humbled to be in that conversation, and whether it would have been or not, it's out of my control now, and I'm just trying to get my rehab ready and back on the field.
I expected that answer, but I in fact, Tourist and Coach K, they're my jury here. I'm presenting a case here that if this bloke sitting beside me in the studios here was fit and was overlooked for the squad when it was first picked, when Mitchell Moses went down injured at training with a hamstring on Monday and by Tuesday morning is out, I will put my life, and I want to know whether you boys would join me, that Doueihi would have been the player, Adam Doueihi would have been the player picked to come into the squad because he covers 7 and 6. Do you agree? Would you put your life in that have been the case? Coach K, locked it in. Tourist? Ding, ding. Yeah, I think he's ding-dinging too. Double ding-ding. There you go. I don't know. Some solace, but it's a fact, mate. I'm telling you, there would have been no player better suited for that. You would now have you wouldn't be here today doing this segment. if you were, you'd be in a New South Wales tracksuit and you would have had to take leave. I'm telling you, it would have been perfect for the role. And who knows what's going to happen tonight. So Matt Burton comes in 11th hour. With HIAs and all the rest, like that could potentially happen. First tackle of the game.
On the field early, yeah.
Bang, and suddenly you go from outside the squad to 6-man bench to on the field. Could happen tonight. Adam Doueihi here, our very special guest for Temper. A great night's sleep, night after night after night. That is the difference. The difference is Temper. Fire your text in. Get on the open line, 1300 01 1170. Michael says, Adam Doueihi is a great analyst. He should be on radio. What a great text. There you go. There's a lot of love in the room for Adam Doueihi here on the front office on SEN. Front office for SEN right here for Keeping Company, a complete accounting solution for your business. Get a free financial health check at keepingcompany.com.au. They are a good mob. Just go on the website. Just check them out. See what they have to offer. I think if you're running a small, medium, big business, they will be able to help you in some way. Adam Doueihi, our very special guest for Temper. A great night's sleep, night after night after night. That is the difference. The difference is Temper. Do you sleep easy when you're injured? Are you frustrated? Do you are you up and about every day of rehab? And sadly, Adam, you know all about rehab over the years with injuries. Are you up and about, like the alarm goes off and bang, straight out of bed, I'm off to it?
It's exhausting. The rehab gets to you and it gets very exhausting. So when I'm going to bed, I'm very tired, but when I'm lying on my shoulder, it gets me up during the night. So I have to hit up Temper for another new mattress and help me out of that sense.
A nice little plug there. Now, is just for Tigers fans tuned in, Jahream Buller is listed to come back. Are you prepared to make a statement? I know he's named, but is he definitely right to return? Jahream Buller at fullback for the match against the Bulldogs Saturday.
Yeah, I think he's in. I think he's good.
Yep.
He completed the whole session yesterday, and it was a big contact session for us as a training team. So, I think he's good to go. All
right, that's Tigers, Bulldogs. I think I'm calling that one on Fox on Saturday. I'll come out there. I might run into your dad somewhere. Can you get your dad to bring my dry cleaning along with him so I don't have to go to the Summer Hill store?
Walk up to the...
Mate, can we just talk about that? A bit of family business, okay? Adam's dad and mum, I met for the first time this year, and I'll say champions, both of them. Your dad and your mum, they support you to the end of the earth, like all mums and dads would do, but they absolutely adore you. They are going on the journey with you through the highs and the lowest of lows. They're there with you. But in between time, they've got a business to run. You'll find them every day. Smith Street, Summer Hill. The dry cleaning business.
The headquarters.
It's no small hole in the wall. It's half the street. It's half the street. Mate, have you ever been on the tools in the dry cleaning?
I've tried.
And what is the definition of dry cleaning? How do you clean in the dry? How does it work?
People drop off their clothes and it goes through a big system there where it gets washed in the washing machine and then...
So it's not dry, it's wet.
It's wet and then it becomes dry and... I guess it should be called a wet dry clean. I don't know.
No, so have you worked? You've worked behind the counter.
Yeah, I used to go. I used to go on my days off when I was younger, but it's pretty intense. And my dad works hard back there, and it's a bit of a sweat box when it's hot outside. That's for sure. But it's good fun.
text us straight in. Is there any photographic proof of you working in the dry cleaner? Is there any photographic proof of you actually loading, picking things up?
If we go through the archives, I'll
there
find
would
one.
be something,
If we go through the archives, I'll find one.
Yeah. Could there be, like Jim's mowing has taken off over the years, could there be Doueihi's dry cleaning somewhere in post-career?
I don't think so.
Like a massive franchise worldwide?
I'll leave it to my dad.
Okay, your dad's got that cornered. Well done. This one, hey, Vossy and Adam. Adam, congratulations on a great start to the year. Can't wait to see you back on the park. Most importantly, thank you for yours and the boys' efforts. Seeing the claws up shows me the boys are having fun and they also care. Go the Tigers, the Burka Panther. That's a nice one. Talking about World Cup, question for you, Adam. You're looking forward to that? Excited for it? How does he think Lebanon will go?
Yeah, big campaign. Love playing in the World Cups, and it's back here in Sydney and in Australia end of this year. So, our team's looking fairly strong at the moment. So,
Kels from Parramatta says the spine could include Kiraz at fullback, Doueihi and Moses in the halves, and Twile at lock. Strong, solid.
It's not a bad starting team.
Solid, with the exception of that bloke. No, that's very strong. If that's all there, that's a good start. That's a good start. Alrighty, now let's pin you down. State of Origin tonight, right? We've broken down a few players. First of all, I'm going to lead up to the tip. Who do you think tonight, when it's all said and done after 80 minutes, if Queensland win, who's the player we're going to be talking most about? If Queensland win.
I think it's between Ponga and Munster. I feel as though Munster, somehow, the bigger the game, the bigger the occasion, the more people write him off and say he's out of form and talk him down, the more he steps up and just performs, I guess, a miracle. And also Ponga's in obviously good form at the moment. And just looking at their squad and the team they've got, they're going to need him to create a lot to get points. So I think if he's got his hands on the board a lot and busy, then he'll be the man that gets them the win.
Okay, that's if Queensland win. If New South Wales win, same question. Who's the player we will be talking about most tomorrow?
I think Cleary, especially with Mitch being out as of yesterday. I think Nathan's really got to step up, and I'm sure he will. He's just all class with everything he does, and I'm sure that if New South Wales win, then he's going to have his hands all over the victory.
Before we get the tip, there's a slow build-up to it. Rob says, after nights out, Adam used to get his shirt ironed while it was still on and then head in for video sessions. Is that right? Very convenient. Do all the boys use the dry cleaning business? Sorry, we get sidetracked there. Is there a little bit going, bit of something for the Tigers boys if they turn up?
I'll tell them stay away.
Yeah, there. Is there much cash? No, I won't ask about the cash component of the business. All right, let's get down to the tip. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Doueihi here for temper, a great night's sleep. Night after night after night. That is the difference. The difference is temper. Winner, margin, man of the match. Let's go.
I'm going to go, if it's going to be a bit of a wet weather footy game, I'm going to go a low scoring game. I'm going to go 18 or 16.
18-16, New South Wales.
New South Wales to win. And Nathan Cleary, man of the match.
Cleary, man of the match. And I take it in that 18 points, Cleary's kicking 3 out of 3.
Correct.
You do remember last year, Origin 1, Cleary, what did he kick? 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 5? It was a very strange night for Nathan Cleary, Origin 1, and that was a game New South Wales won, but they scored 4 tries. He only kicked the 1 goal. Just throwing that in there. Just throwing it in there. But anyway, that is Adam Doueihi's tip. New South Wales 18, Queensland 16. Nathan Cleary, man of the match. I'll push in further. What about a first try scorer? Do you see a play unfolding out of that? Are New South Wales going to lead from the get-go?
I think Hudson Young going at Sammy Walker. Yep. I think he's a big chance.
Hudson Young there. So
gamble responsibly.
Of course. I'll do the plug. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Adam, we really appreciate you coming in the rehab process, but it sounds like the comeback is sooner rather than later. There had been a line saying around 19. I thought, oh my goodness. No, you'll be back sooner.
I'll be back soon.
And Tigers back on track. Big game Saturday, 5:30, CommBank Stadium. Get around it against the Bulldogs. No reason why it can't be the noisiest crowd of the weekend when Bulldogs play Tigers. Adam, for temper, a great night's sleep, night after night after night. That is the difference. The difference is temper. And if you need any dry cleaning done, Smith Street at Summer Hill is the place to go. You might even see Adam folding a shirt. But I doubt it. Thanks for coming in, Adam.
Thanks, Vossy. Thanks for having me.
There we go. Adam Doueihi, right here on the front office on SEN. Plenty of your calls and texts in just a moment. Want more like that? Listen to SEN 1170 on the radio or on the SEN app. SEN, the home of sport.